So I just read Territory of Light by Yuko Tsushima. I just found out right before reading it that she's actually the daughter of Osamu Dazai. I had no idea. I read No Longer Human a while ago, but when I first heard that, I was kind of put me off her a bit. That like she's not a real writer; she's just a writer because of who her father was. But her father died when she was 1. She never really knew him. Maybe she is more popular because of that connection, but after having read the actual book, I do think she's just a wonderful author, just in her own right. And I'd love to read more of her books, her stories, more of her writing. So this one is a super, super short book, very, very small. It's 120 pages or so. I did make it last 9 days. It took me 9 days to read it, and I enjoyed it. It was sort of exactly what I was looking for at the time. Very sort of cozy slice of life. I mean, I use the word cozy, but it's not really. The main character's not having a great time. They're going through a lot, right? But it just felt nice just to read about a person and their daily experience, and yeah, just what they're going through. So it is about this woman who has recently separated from her husband. Now they're not divorced as of yet. She's sort of in this liminal space where she doesn't live with him, but she's still legally married and still carries his name. They have a 2-year-old daughter that the mother is looking after, and rather stays with the mother. And it starts with them finding this new apartment. It's sort of this weird office building, and the whole top floor is a studio apartment, and that's where this mother and their child start renting. And there's like a little weird thing where the building's owner has the same last name as the main character, or rather her husband's name that she still has because they haven't legally divorced yet. But that's this Territory of Light, this apartment in this office building that has glass windows on all 4 sides, and it feels like a territory of light. It lets so much light in. And this book goes from moving into this building until about a year and a half later when they finally move out. And at the time of her moving out, she finally manages to sort of convince or get her husband to sign the divorce papers, and so she's finally sort of free of him, and she sort of comes out of this malaise and out of this liminal space, and takes a new apartment, and that's how the book ends. But this year and a half or so is a very hard year for her. It feels very real. It almost feels autobiographical. I have no idea the story of this woman, but it's all about this young single mother trying to deal with her child. And of course she loves her child, but at times her child really grates on her, and she really struggles with the child, and like doesn't hate the child, but I mean, she's human. She can't help but feel all these things when the child's being a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old. She does things that you can judge and say are wrong, like going out drinking after she puts her child to bed, and sleeping with another married man, or having this young college guy stay with her, and she tries to convince him to stay but he won't. But I don't think it's about judging. It's just about seeing sort of her life and how the things she has to deal with, and the little things like working a job, trying to look after a kid. She eventually finds this sort of one of the kid's friends, mothers, or their family agrees to look after the kid for like a sleepover, and this turns into sort of a weekly thing where she can get a break from her child and sort of just be on her own. And she really looks forward to those times, but the child as well. The child's like emotionally, mentally going through a lot with this separation of parents and trying to live alone with the mother. And there's a whole thing with, in the summer it gets so hot that they just keep all of the windows open so that there's constantly a breeze blowing through the whole house. But the daughter starts being a 3-year-old, starts throwing things out the window and onto the roof of the neighbors, or this old couple. And the neighbors finally snap and rush up and start complaining that their roof is leaking, and they've been hearing this banging all this time, and blaming her. And yeah, it's a very short story, and I don't know if I will want to or can go into more detail, other than it's just that it's the story of this single mom trying to raise a kid on her own in this weird space of the immediate separation with her husband and the father of the child, and finally sort of moving on and getting her own apartment and her own name back. And now, of course, things aren't going to be perfect. She's still going to be a single mother. She's still dealing with this child, but it does feel by the end of it that she sort of has gotten over the hard part and can persevere through the rest of it. Yeah, so that's Territory of Light by Yuko Tsushima.